Welcome to What's Left of Week 5. I am Beerfield Fantasy Football host at Hot BFF, Chris Hopper with 2 Ps. Not joined by Dan Thury this week. Dan Thury had some... he's got some work commitments, so he is missing again this week. Hopefully we get him back next week. But yeah, Week 5 down to just 12 games. So going to be a little bit abbreviated. So... new setup in the new home. First time using this, so if there's any technical difficulties, forgive me. Any weirdness with the camera, I'm at a much larger desk this go around, so big enough for me to do a Collinsworth roll in. Maybe we'll try that on Monday. But welcome to the show. Welcome to Week 5. Let's go ahead and get into some of the news. Yeah, that's stuff that we talk about when we want to know stuff. All right. Broncos, Patriots, they're on bye this week due to COVID. Their game's been moved to Week 6. It's also going to move the New England-San Francisco game that was originally slated for Week 6, as well as the Broncos' Week 6 matchup with the Dolphins. So a lot of scheduling weirdness going on. A lot of scheduling things you need to pay attention to with that. A lot of bye weeks going to happen early, and after they start burning bye weeks, we'll see what happens. Alex, what's up? Good morning. Deebo Samuel... go after a COVID scare this week. Should see an expanded role against Miami. Raheem Mostert also expected to play in that game, so he'll make his return, adjust accordingly. It means Jeff Wilson goes down to next to nothing. Jerick McKinnon should still have a role. John Brown, Zach Moss, both expected to be good to go for Tuesday against Tennessee, assuming Buffalo-Tennessee game happens. Mike Williams, Jared Cook, questionable for Monday. Let me rephrase. Mike Williams is expected to play Monday, but questionable. Michael Thomas and Jared Cook are questionable for Monday as well. Michael Thomas, limited practice for the last 2 weeks. Probably expect him back this week, but, we'll see. Have backup options. For the Ravens, Hollywood Brown, Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, all expected to be good to go for Baltimore, so they'll play. Le'Veon Bell activated from IR for a team that definitely needs a spark, but probably won't get it there. But he'll be good to go for the Jets. David Njoku also activated from IR for Cleveland. Good game Week 1. Austin Hooper didn't do a whole lot in his absence. Expect him to have a role. Cam Akers expected to return for the Rams, so adjust that accordingly. Malcolm Brown and Darrell Henderson. I'd expect that to be a hot-handed approach for the time being. Cam Akers not exactly good before he got hurt, but... nobody else really grabbed it. Darrell Henderson had one good game. Sam Darnold out for the Jets. It means Joe Flacco is going to start. So fire up your Chris Herndons, I guess, and maybe that gives him a spark. But beyond that, Jamison Crowder, focal point of that offense. Garoppolo going to return for Week 5 against the Dolphins. So. Yeah, no more Nick Mullins or CJ Beathard. That's a good thing. So back to pretty much status quo for the 49ers. Austin Eckler officially been placed on IR. That means Joshua Kelly, Justin Jackson going to handle the load, as we talked about on Monday. Typically don't see one back just take over in the Chargers' backfield as of late. Even when somebody goes down, it doesn't just go to the next guy. It tends to still be... about an equal carry split between those involved. So I would expect Justin Jackson to work in a bit more with Eckler out and being the same type of back. Deshaun Jackson out against the Steelers, the Eagles, so Greg Ward will once again be their number one there to stay away from those receivers. Calvin Ridley, cleared to play Week 5 against Carolina. Julio Jones is out, so Calvin Ridley will be the top dog there in Week 5. As far as some other things, because we should be getting to inactives. Going a little later in the morning, just trying out these different time slot things. Had to get my TV and stuff set up so I could actually watch football this week. Calvin Ridley apparently back to full speed. No surprise inactives for the Cardinals. Nothing surprising there for the Rams, for the Jets. Mekhi Becton's out. Sam Darnold out, as we mentioned. Ty Johnson inactive. Brashad Perriman out. So adjust accordingly. Raiders, Bryan Edwards is going to miss this week. So, Nelson Aguilar, Zay Jones will draw some playing time. not worth starting them unless you're desperate. I do have to start Nelson Aguilar in one place. That is ugly. That is not something I'm happy about. Chiefs, DeAndre Washington. Yeah, nothing real surprising for the Chiefs as far as inactives. Mark Andrews, good to go, as we previously mentioned. Jordan Akins out for the Texans. No surprise inactives for the Steelers. Eli Apple out for the Panthers, so that is kind of worth mentioning. For the football team, Dwayne Haskins inactive. They're looking at trading him, by the way. Apparently, rubbed some people the wrong way, bragging about throwing for 300 yards in week 2, which, obviously. Joe Mixon's active. He's good to go. Was dealing with a shin injury. Don't expect that to jump up and bite him at all. Eagles, no surprise inactives there. Yeah, Deshaun Jackson out, Alshon Jeffrey out. Thoughts on Fells with Akins out. It's tight end, so it's worth a dart throw. I'll just say I don't love it, but if you need a tight end to start, it does play better because he will see all of that work. And yeah, it's Houston's weird for me anyway, because outside of Will Fuller, there hasn't been a whole lot there that I necessarily like. But going up against the Jaguars team, that game should be higher scoring than I think some people anticipate. So, yeah, Fells is viable to catch a touchdown. It's really what you asked for a tight end. I would stick Gesicki in Fells versus Gesicki. All right. Keep refreshing here and make sure I'm not missing anything. I am not. So no problem, Alex. Think we're gonna continue doing these a little earlier, just based on activity and the number of people we can reach. Most other podcasts and other entities will tend to go around 10:30, 11 o'clock when inactives start to roll in. A lot of fantasy players that want to be upsetting their lineups earlier. So, I think in the interest of keeping interaction high, that we're going to start going earlier, probably more around the 10 o'clock time frame. Chase Edmonds, Michael Gallup, or Latavius Murray. So, not in on Edmonds. I mean, against the Jets, could be, but I think Gallup and Murray are better options. Honestly, I'd probably go Latavius Murray out of those three. Michael Gallup has been behind CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper the last couple weeks. I don't think Dallas is going to have to throw for 455 yards to beat New York. As far as Edmonds go, it's just, kind of the split deal there that has me a little But Latavius Murray, very, very quietly having a good start to his season opposite Alvin Kamara. I do think that I would go with Latavius there. And of course, weirder things have happened than Dallas throwing for 455 yards against the Giants. But if they do it, I think it's more to prove a point. All right. So we'll keep it open about another 2 minutes here. Little programming note, I believe. I'll check on this. Dan and I are recording on Tuesday this week, so Tuesday preferred day for our weekly show. So for those that are interested in tuning into that, Tuesday 6 o'clock looks like the target for us to go ahead and record this week. That being said, doesn't look like we're gonna pull in any more questions. So thank you for tuning in. We'll go ahead and wrap this guy up. Beerfield Fantasy Football, Twitter, YouTube, at BeerfieldFF. If you have any questions coming forward.